Thank you all for coming. I officially filed today as a Republican candidate for the United States Senate. I'm running for the United States Senate because we need a new direction in Washington. Before the things that make America great are swept away by this massive debt and irresponsible expansion of government. Our country is going in the wrong direction. There are many reasons. Our elected officials in Washington appear incapable of restraining federal spending or limiting the size of government. Congress repeatedly imposes unnecessary and burdensome regulations on our job creators, our farmers and ranchers, small businesses, and store owners. Congress has turned much of the lawmaking function over to a huge and growing bureaucracy, with Nancy Pelosi famously telling us we have to pass Obamacare in order to find out what's in it. Many members of Congress have lost touch with the people that they represent because they have been in Washington too long. Unelected judges have gone far beyond their appointed roles and are remaking our country in ways that our people and our founding fathers never intended. To go in a new direction, we need a new kind of U.S. Senator to represent Nebraska. We need a person with a proven record of accomplishment on behalf of the things that Nebraskans value most. We need a senator who will put the next generation ahead of the next election and principle above political party and political ambition. Our next senator must understand both the nature of the challenges facing our country and the nature of public service. To solve problems and to serve Nebraskans, our senator must realize that this job is not about him. It's about facing up to the problems that have been building up for generations because generations of politicians of both political parties have refused and failed to confront our challenges. We cannot afford any more false promises or election year reinventions. We need a problem solver, a straight shooter, and a proven conservative whose values don't change with the latest polling data. I am that candidate. As state treasurer, I cut my budget by 13% for the current fiscal year and the next fiscal year. As Attorney General, I operated the office on the third smallest budget in the United States. I have never asked for or received a federal earmark. As Attorney General, I defended Nebraska's ban on partial birth abortions in the Supreme Court of the United States. I did not give up after losing in the district court just because it was a difficult case. As Nebraska's next United States Senator, I will vote to repeal Obamacare, cut federal spending, reduce federal regulations, develop our domestic energy resources, secure our borders, and make sure that we stay strong and free. I will do all these things to make sure that our children and our grandchildren have an even better country than the one we were given by our parents and grandparents. As your senator, I will work with anyone in either party who is sincerely committed to ending the cycle of debt and the massive growth of government. By the same token, I will stand against anyone, including a Republican Senate or a Republican president, who, in the name of political convenience, goes back on their commitment to restrain government. I support term limits for members of the U.S. Senate and House of Representatives. If the people of Nebraska send me to the United States Senate, I will voluntarily limit my term of service to 2 years, 2 terms. I want to go to Washington to serve my state and my country, not climb the political ladder. During the remainder of this campaign, I will continue to offer my vision for the future. I will crisscross Nebraska, talking to you about my ideas. I won't be reinventing myself or the things that I believe. I'm not going to hide behind a slick packaged campaign or the latest poll-tested sound bites. You know me well enough to know that's not Don Stenberg. Our country stands at a crossroads. The 2012 elections will determine the direction of our nation for years to come. It is a choice between fiscal responsibility and financial calamity, a choice between freedom and dependence, a choice between free enterprise and government coercion. The Don Stenberg campaign stands for fiscal responsibility, freedom, and a free market economy that will produce jobs and economic opportunity. That is the new direction that we need in Washington. I ask for your support and your help as I work to earn the votes of Nebraskans for this job. I will be a leader for the things that must be done, a leader that you know and trust, who, when his time in office is done, wants nothing more than to have it said of him, "Well done, good and faithful servant." Thank you. I'll take questions from the news media.